What's going on? My name is Ryan Stewman. I'm the president, CEO of Closer Capital, where we help entrepreneurs like you get access to the capital they need to grow and scale their business. Each week on this channel, I bring educational videos to help the entrepreneur community to position yourself to be able to financially gain funding, investors, and everything else that you would need capital-wise for your business. Today, we're going to talk about the fancy word that all the influencers are using on the internet right now, EBITDA, right? And EBITDA is actually an acronym. It's earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Basically, it's your net profit with a few things worked back into it. That's what we're going to talk about today. How do you increase your net profit? Now, why would somebody care about their net profit? Because we live in a world that is filled with vanity and ego when it comes to business. People love to tell you that they've done $30 million exits or that they've made $50 million at this or that, but they never tell you what they left the table with. I know guys that have sold their businesses for hundreds of millions of dollars that walked away from the table with six figures left over due to the amount of debt, the amount of investors, the amount of legal costs, and everything else. And that's kind of the norm, believe it or not. That's why you never hear about how much money somebody walked away from the table with quite as often as the big number that they exited the thing for. And look, I could sell a business for $1 billion, but if I don't walk away with $1 billion, what good was that? That's why we've got to focus on our bottom line. You see, I learned from a guy, I read a book one time by a guy named Tommy Mello, and he said one of my favorite sayings when it comes to entrepreneurialism. He says, revenue is for vanity, profit is for sanity. So today we're going to talk about how to increase your profit. A lot of times people have good cash flow in their business. They just haven't plugged the holes that the money is seeping out of in order to really have a feel and enjoy the cash flow coming into their business. So the first thing that you can do to increase your bottom line is cut your sales costs. I know, I'm the hardcore closer. And I started off as a sales guy. I started off in the internet world as a sales trainer, and I have a huge sales community, but the truth is the truth. Business isn't about feelings, and business isn't about making people feel good. Business is about business. And if you were, well, I'll get into the rest of that in a minute. That being said, costs are cost. And salespeople are some of the most expensive overhead that we could have. High commissions, high salaries, 401ks, insurance. If you've got a profitable top dog salesperson, that person costs a lot of money. They probably have a support team around them that your company pays for as well, an assistant, a processor, whatever it is that you have that goes with a junior, a sales team, another rep, all the things that you have to create when you've got a planetary size salesperson. It takes orbital people around that planetary sales guy to go out there and close, but all those people cost salaries to your company. So how do we cut the sales costs? We get the AI appointment setter. So now the appointment setter, you're paying $20,000, $40,000, $60,000 a year for to support that sales rep that's a badass. Now you can cut that down to about $200 a month using a site like Relevance.AI. Go there, type in some prompts, and that shit will make automatic outbound, inbound calling bots for you. I just saved you an ass ton of money. You're welcome. Then you can have your AI do the follow-up. You can literally have artificial intelligence for just a few $100s a month do the job of thousands of assistants, thousands of processors, thousands of junior associates, follow-up calls, emails, texts. It can do it all. And this could be a huge savings. Let's say you have a company with 20 support staff. Okay, and out of those 20 support staff, the average salary is $40,000. And honestly, that's cheap, right? Like if you're paying $40,000, you're probably in Alabama or Mississippi where it doesn't cost. In Dallas, this is more like $80,000 to $120,000, okay? So 4 times 2, that's $800,000 a year that you're paying in support staff for amazing salespeople to make the salesperson's job easier, right? Now, if we combine both of these together, Relevance.AI plus calls, you're going to spend $500 to $1,000 a month. That is $6 to $12 grand a year for a grand total of, by the way, okay, putting all this in takes maybe 2-3 months to put into play, but a grand total savings of that is absolutely nuts. $788,000. Okay, with just replacing 20 people. Now, how does this go on your bottom line? Damn near $1 million to your bottom line. Small shift in the company. The next thing is email your list. I talk to business owners every day that have tons of customers, great reputations, lots of 5-star reviews, and 0 emails going out to their list. They're not sending sales, they're not sending offers, they don't do anything. I talked to a person the other day, they own a restaurant chain. They have over 100,000 customers in their database. I said, when's the last time you emailed your database? You know what they told me? Oh, we don't want to bother them. The fuck you mean you don't want to bother them? Excuse my English. What the fuck do you mean you don't want to bother them? Right? Like, they're on the email list. If they don't want to be bothered, they'll hit that big ol' unsubscribe button that's at the top of every Gmail email that you see, right? Email your list. Here's how you email your list. You categorize your leads, okay? So who do you need to follow up with? Who should you make an offer to? So in your business, let's say you're in the restaurant business. I'm gonna look at people that eat the most frequent and I'm gonna send them the most offers to get them to come back. I'm gonna look at people who probably haven't been in 2 to 6 months and I'm gonna send them an enticing offer saying, haven't seen you in a while, love to make you come back to our place and eat. Then I'm gonna send a place to people who've never been in there that have just opted into our specials on social media and stuff, trying to get them in for the first time. Free margarita, free mambo taxi, whatever the hell you want to offer them, right? Categorize the leads, then send direct response emails to them and watch what happens. It's going to increase your bottom line because guess what? People, out of sight, out of mind. If people are not standing in front of your business or have an immediate need for it, they are not thinking about it. That is why it is our job as marketers to remind them that we exist so that we can get in front of them with the right offers to get them to take action and increase our bottom line. The next thing, so many people are missing out on this right now, and you're about to get left behind if you don't bite into it now. The organic social media, but you have to follow this path. Posting once a week, once a month, once a year is not gonna cut it. You're not staying top of mind if you're not emailing and staying on social media consistently, right? You need to be making 2 to 3 posts a day. You need to be making 3 to 5 reels a week. Now that can count as a part of your 2 to 3 posts a day, but 3 to 5 of those posts every week need to be reels. Everybody who sends you a DM, you need to reply to them or have someone on your team or mini chat or AI reply to them and hold people in conversations. Get to know your customers. Nothing's worse than sending a message to a company on social media and being completely ignored. You're like, dude, why would you message a business on social media if you weren't trying to give them some business? Think about that. And people just every day don't check DMs, okay? So you might be thinking, okay, where do I post this? You've got to figure out what I call your hub, okay? Where are you going to syndicate your content from? If we're gonna make 3 posts a day on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, and give me another one, X, okay? So there's 6 places. If we look at this and we do 6 times 3, that's 18 posts that we've got to come up with every day. Jesus Christmas, that's a full-time job for something like AI that helps with your bottom line. I'm just saying, you can prompt that thing, it'll tell you what to post. But my hub is Facebook. And I'm gonna make all of this happen on Facebook. And from Facebook, the same thing that was on Facebook goes on X. The same thing that was on these reels that go on Facebook, they go on YouTube. These reels that go on Facebook, they go on Instagram. So I don't have to make 18 pieces of content a day. I get to make 3 a day and distribute it as if it's 18 pieces of content. That's how you create a web. That's how also when people are searching ChatGPT, hey, who can do my roof? Hey, what's the best accounting firm? Hey, who's the best lawyer in the area? If you've got all this information cranking out on websites, social media, AI is going to draw in that you have a presence online and give you as a recommendation. How do I know that? It already recommends our company when you ask. Because we understand marketing and organic search on Google required SEO and everything else. Organic intelligence search, like ChatGPT asking it a question, gives you a definitive answer or suggestions completely different. Last but not least, you got to cut ties with the weak link employees. And here's my philosophy on this because I don't like firing people, although I've had to do it a lot of times in my careers. The truth is, if someone's not playing to their full potential, if they're not operating with excellence in a company, if they haven't bought into the culture, if any of those things are happening with the person, it's a decision that they made to leave the company and you're just the messenger. right? Like if I set a standard operating procedure and an expectation, and that expectation can't be met, and that standard operating procedure can't be followed, then that person either isn't willing to put in the effort, doesn't care enough, or doesn't have the same feeling and care for the company I do. They're a wink link, I've got to let them go. If they cared as much about their future, their salary in this company as I do, or not even as I do because I'm the owner, if they cared as much about their salary, their position in this company as much as they should, then that job's always going to be secure because the job's going to get done, the expectation's going to get met, and the standard's going to get set, right? Those that continually and habitually miss the mark of the standard, that continually and habitually don't get the jobs done, don't meet the expectations, always have excuses, those people have made the choice that this isn't the place for them. You're just the messenger as the CEO, the manager, whatever. You're just the messenger that tells them that the choice that they made has been finalized and agreed on by everybody. So the key to this is revenue is for vanity, profit is for sanity. Here are ways to increase revenue while at the same time increasing your bottom line too. So many people increase revenue and eat it all up because they're just spinning. They don't take a step back and go, who's really not a team player here? They don't take a step back and say, what department can we replace with AI? And here's the thing, you might think, oh, I don't want to do all that. That's not good to people. I love people and I love people too. Your competitors are going to do it. Because in this industry, being an entrepreneur, it's all about money and market share. And your competitors are going to do it. And then they're going to eat your market share and your money for breakfast if you don't get ahead of them. It's going to happen. It's inevitable that these things are going to happen. You might as well get in on it early and profit from it first before it becomes mainstream. Humans always figure out a way. Listen, that's not your job to figure out somebody else's future. Your job as a fiduciary for that company is to make sure that you know what's best and to protect that company so that it can carry the people it supports. You, your family, the families of the employee, the families of your vendors and everything else. That's your responsibility to keep that entity alive. We'll see you on the next video.